One of the biggest problems in the process of manifestation is people only tend to do things on the outside. So if I want to manifest $1 million or if I want to manifest an amazing life partner, people just put in a lot of effort on the outside without actually knowing what is truly that one aspect in their life that is running their life, which is your subconscious beliefs. 95% of your life is run because of your subconscious beliefs, the beliefs that you're holding on the inside. While I am going to be doing multiple videos so that you understand the power of your subconscious mind and you also understand what it is truly doing to your life, this is going to be the first video which is going to talk about it. We're going to do multiple videos layering this up. So first of all, what do we need to understand? What is this conscious mind and subconscious mind, and why do we need to start learning about them? Now tell me, if you're watching this video, just tell me, sit with yourself and ask yourself these questions. No matter how hard I'm trying and no matter how genuine my intentions are towards something, for some reason, I keep hitting the roadblock again and again. For some reason, the same problems keep showing up again and again. For some reason, I keep procrastinating again and again. No matter how much of a tracker that I build, no matter what these fancy journals that I buy, I end up going back to the same old patterns, right? If that is you, which is majority of the world, it's time for us to understand what our subconscious beliefs are, how it was formed, how do we recognize them, and how do we change them so that we can start changing our entire life. So I'm going to be using a lot of writing because I love to teach when I write. It becomes so much more easier. So now let's say, right, this is you. Let's say this is you. And with you, you always have a personal assistant, right? Let's say you've been given a personal assistant. You would always want your personal assistant to work in your favor, right? So you would expect for them to do the things that are beneficial for you. Now, let's say, unfortunately, the instructions, give me a second. Unfortunately, the instructions that were given to this personal assistant was not from you. Let's say the instructions that were given to this personal assistant came from somewhere else. So they had instructions 1, 2, and 3, which was not actually working in your favor. So no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you yell at your personal assistant, you try to change them, they're not going to change because the solid instructions they've received are from somewhere else. Now, let's say the same personal assistant has the qualities or has been given instructions that are working in your favor. Don't you think your entire life is going to be so easy? Because when you think about something, the work is already done. You don't really have to use your willpower in order for you to do certain things in your life. And that's exactly what your subconscious mind does. So from the age of 0, that is from the time that you're in your mother's womb, up until the age of 7, most of your subconscious beliefs are formed at that point of time. So let's say this is an infant, right? This is a baby which is born. And even when it is in its mother's womb, the baby is constantly absorbing from the external environment. So we have something called the conscious mind. We have something called the subconscious mind. Up until the age of 7, the conscious mind is not even formed. So from the age of 0 to 7, all that you have is your subconscious mind. So the baby is literally observing everything in its external reality and taking that as cue on the inside. Let's say you grew up in an environment where your parents were constantly fighting over money. And they constantly kept telling each other, saying, oh, money does not grow on trees. It's so difficult to make money. We cannot spend so much, that and this and all of that. And you see your parents fight all the time. So in your subconscious mind as a child, you know what ended up happening? You started to absorb those beliefs and you made that into your reality. All the behaviors that you absorbed from the external reality, even very unconsciously. Why? Because up until the age of 7, your conscious mind is not even formed. So the consciousness has no job there. Your subconscious mind, when, let's say, God, the universe, put a child in the world, the first thing the child needed to learn was, how do I adapt myself with my family? How do I adapt myself with my community? What is the best way for you to learn how your family or community behaves and things? By looking at them and taking every single thing that they're doing and making it in your own so that you're not excluded by that community. There's a huge problem here. Let's say your parents were very aware, they were very conscious, they made sure these 7 years were amazing for you, and they pulled in only the positive belief system. They made you feel very resilient, conscious, lovable, deserving, all of that. Then you have amazing belief system. So now what happens if all of this did not happen? Because a lot of parents themselves have a lot of unresolved trauma. They have a lot of belief systems that are not working out in their favor. So those parents who are unfortunately unconscious pass down that. Even now, when I go to restaurants, one of my favorite things to do is when a child comes there or a toddler comes there, I'm always very curious to observe how the parent is talking to the child. That's why there's this one beautiful saying that says, give me a child till the age of 7 and I will tell you how the man is or who the man is. Because till the age of 7, 95% of your beliefs are already found. Just like imagine you buying a computer, okay? And there is no operating system with the computer. You really can't do much with the computer, right? Similarly, the baby is born without an operating system. The operating system is built for 7 years by absorbing and observing what is happening in its external reality and making them its own. When you were growing up, let's say, your parents were quite busy and they really could not spend a lot of time with you. You know what the child starts to feel? The child's innate need is to feel loved and to feel heard and to feel like they belong. If they did not get all of this, they start to end up feeling like, maybe I'm not deserving of love. They have this fear of abandonment. So eventually they grow up into adults like you and me, and they walk around their lives hoping and wishing and begging for love and to feel that sense of connection, because a part of them has felt abandoned. So when we do the next video, not the immediate next video, but we'll also be doing a lot of videos to understand trauma, to understand how it is affecting our decision making, and to understand how it is blocking abundance from coming into our life. So now this personal assistant is formed with all these negative beliefs, right? Literally all these negative beliefs. Now, after the age of 7, once a conscious mind kicks in, let's say you've grown up into an adult and you're in your 20s or 30s or even your 40s. Now the thinking brain, the creative mind is your conscious mind. Every time when you want a desire, when you want to manifest something in your life, when you say, I want to manifest $1 million, I want this, where is it coming from? It is coming from your conscious mind. It is coming from your conscious mind, but the beliefs are dictated by your subconscious mind. That is why no matter how hard you try, it feels like there's this one huge wall that you're constantly going and colliding again and again and again and again. And also let's understand how the self-sabotage and procrastination happens. I always talk about this even in my courses, and I help people go through and overcome procrastination. Please remember this. Procrastination is only a symptom. It is not the root cause. The root cause is something else. Let's understand how self-sabotage and procrastination happens. Let's say I'm going to give you an example of a money belief. Let's say you can use the same example for any aspect of your life and figure out what negative beliefs you have and why you keep procrastinating or self-sabotaging. You can do this activity. And please remember, while you learn all of this, the most important thing in the process of your transformation is for you to introspect, for you to give yourself the time and space to sit with yourself and work on yourself. Otherwise, nothing works. Until you work on yourself, nothing really works out for you in your life. Please make this a mantra for yourself. Because for the longest time, I used to think just by thinking positively, just by being in that zone and I want to be in that vibe and all of that, life would change. But I was quite disappointed and also went through a lot of hardships to learn it the hard way. I really encourage you to use the time that you beautifully have in this world to work on yourself so that you can live life to your fullest version. So coming back to this, let's say you have a belief system that says making a lot of money will make me lonely. What do I mean by this? Let's say this is a belief that is associated with the relationships that you have. Remember how this propaganda is there when you reach up there on the top, it's very lonely out there. Let's say it's become your belief system and you're very close to your family, you love your friends, but there is this one belief system that says making a lot of money will make you lonely. So now, when the universe gives you an opportunity, let's say somebody in your workplace or somebody in your off-site, on-site, or you want to start a business. I mean, if there is somebody here who's watching this and you want to start a business and you're breaking this belief, please tell me in the comments. I would love to see them, because at the end of the day, there's truly nothing more joyful and beautiful than seeing somebody transform from within, right? So let's say you have a belief like this. Now, when an opportunity comes your way, your conscious mind is like, wow, I want to make a lot of money. This is one of the best opportunities for me to take up so that I can make a lot of money. So the conscious mind will tell you, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow onwards so that I'm going to grab this opportunity. Does the tomorrow even come? When the tomorrow comes, you procrastinate. Now, how do you procrastinate? When the tomorrow comes and then you really have to do the task that will make you that $1 million or whatever money that you want, you'll be like, yeah, I feel lazy. Maybe I'll do it a little later. Yeah, maybe this is more important for me right now. Oh, maybe I have to take this call right now. Oh, maybe I have to go for this dinner right now. If you sometimes end up like getting out from all of these distractions and you still end up sitting down so that you want to do this, some people even fall sick. You know why? Because when you fall sick, you don't have to do the work. And this is the first problem, which is procrastination. The second thing is self-sabotage, which means you know by doing this, it is going to benefit you. You still end up not doing it. Now we might think, because of the conscious mind, remember the conscious mind thinks. The conscious mind tells you, this is so counterintuitive. I want this so badly, but why the hell am I not working towards it, right? That is a common question that most of us have. Because beliefs are self-fulfilling prophecies. What do I mean by that? Every belief that you have, it is going to direct you and redirect you in your life so that this comes true. So what happens? So now let's dissect this. So now let's say, if you did not procrastinate, please write this question down in your note. Every time you're procrastinating, ask yourself this question. If I did not procrastinate, what will happen? And when that happens, who will I become? Next, why am I so terrified of it? I'm going to repeat that. If I did not procrastinate, what will happen? If that happened, who will I become? And why am I terrified of that? The reason why I'm going to ask you this question is because it directly takes you to your subconscious belief. So in this case, if I did not procrastinate, what would happen? I would probably get the project or get the job. If I got the project or the job, what would happen? I would become wealthy. If I became wealthy, what will happen? I will lose all my people in my life. And that's exactly what I'm terrified about. Please remember, every action or every inaction in your life is serving a purpose. Now the question is, what purpose is it actually serving for you? If you dissect every single misaligned things, we're going to also talk about a lot of misalignment in the upcoming videos. But what I want you to understand is, at this point of time in your life, the only thing that you need to do is take a look at everything on your external reality. It could be relationship, it could be money, it could be your job, it could be your health, it could be anything. Your external reality is nothing but a reflection of what is going on the inside, your deep core beliefs that you have. If you have a belief that says, I'm not worthy of love, I deserve abandonment, I have fear of abandonment, I don't deserve love, what do you think ends up happening? You end up attracting somebody in your life who will make you feel exactly the same way, will make you feel like you're undeserving of love. Those are the love, or those are the those are the romantic relationships where you're constantly chasing. You want the person to be with you. You're constantly feeling like, oh my God, I feel so anxious if this person is not messaging me or talking to me, because that's what you believe about yourself. So now that we've understood, from the age of 0 up until the age of 7, most of our belief systems are formed. Now, is there a way out for that? Or is this the end game? This is not the end game. The beauty of this entire process is the subconscious mind works on repetition. So first of all, how do we identify that we have a lot of negative beliefs inside of us? Please take a look at your life at this point of time and listen to what I'm saying very, very carefully. All the areas of your life that you're not paying attention to, that is, you're not bothering about, you're not thinking about randomly, are the areas of your life where you're already in alignment, which means your beliefs are in alignment with what you want. That is why there is no disconnect. But all the areas of your life where you're constantly obsessing about, or that is creating some kind of a turmoil on the inside, please remember those are the areas where there is misalignment. So first of all, sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what are the areas of my life where I'm aligned? What are the areas of my life that I'm not aligned? Once you identify the areas of your life where you're not aligned, ask yourself, every time I procrastinate or self-sabotage, who is it making me and why am I terrified of that? Right? The questions that I gave you previously. Now that will always take you back to your roots, the root belief that you have. While there are different modalities for us to start working on our belief systems, I'm going to give you the top 3 modalities that I highly, highly recommend for you to start doing this. Please remember, beliefs are nothing but repetition of thoughts and evidences attached to it. So every time you repeat a thought to yourself again and again and again and again, and when you also put in emotions into that, the imprints in your subconscious becomes extremely stronger. What am I talking about? Absolutely, affirmations. Every day when you stand up, look in the mirror or sit down and write or say it loud. You can do anything, whatever works for you. Sit down and do the affirmations in accordance to what beliefs about yourself that you need to change. For example, let's say money is something that you want to attract in your life. Start saying affirmations. I am always looking at these beautiful opportunities in my life. Money flows into my life easily. I am a money magnet. I am the favorite child of the universe. You can use anything that makes you feel empowered and that makes you feel like, yes, this is me. But initial days when you start doing your affirmations, what do you think it's going to feel like? It's going to feel like all ecstatic and amazing? No, it's going to feel very robotic. So that is where most people give up. Why does it feel robotic? Let's say there's this one huge monster inside of you. The huge monster believes that you're undeserving. It says, I don't love myself. I'm not fit for anything. Now there's a small puppy that comes and says, hey, I love myself. I'm amazing. I'm this and that and all of that. This monster is going to consume this puppy in no time. The only way for you to make this puppy, the big puppy, and kill the monster is by starving the monster. How do you starve the monster? By consciously feeding this puppy every single day. So please make it a point to use your affirmations. Even if it feels very robotic in the initial few days, it is going to feel better because this has to shrink. How does it shrink? When you starve, when you don't give energy to it. And this has to become really big for it to become your second nature. Remember, I spoke to you about the personal assistant. This will become your personal assistant. This is number 1, through repetition. The second one is by hypnosis, right? So from the age of 0 to 7, the reason why we absorbed everything and it became our belief system was because children predominantly operate in the theta wave. The brain waves are in theta frequency. So theta is nothing but the state of frequency where you're easily hypnotized. I would highly recommend for you to listen to a lot of night tapes. Night tapes are nothing but affirmations with nice music that when you're going to sleep, you put it on your ears. I will also be releasing a night tape video where I want you to just go to sleep and put this in your ears and just go off to sleep. And then all the rewiring will naturally happen. So when you use a hypnosis state can also be achieved when you do deep meditation. So when you're in a very, very strong meditative state, the instructions that you give to your subconscious mind starts to imprint that very strongly. So the first one is affirmations, the second one is hypnosis, and the third one, the easiest technique for you to do, is called the alarm technique. Alarm technique is nothing but throughout the day. Let's say you're from 10 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so you have 10 hours. So in these 10 hours, have at least 4 to 5 alarms, and every alarm is going to say something saying affirmations on love, affirmations on money, affirmations on this and that, and whatever you want to work on. So now the trick is, before you put the alarms on, record these affirmations in your own voice, right? Play a nice music. If you want, I will also give you those affirmations, not in this video, but in the upcoming videos, I'm going to give you affirmations that can be downloadable for you. You can just play that affirmation. Okay, 5-minute affirmation. I'm just going to listen to it. Now, what does this remind you of, or what does it make out of you? Throughout the day, the problem with most people is when I'm doing this practice and that practice, okay, I'm doing those practices for 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. What about the remaining 16 hours where I'm awake, right? I'm still being unconscious and I'm going back to my old set of beliefs. Now, when I have enough intervals where I'm constantly reminding myself of what my new version is. Okay, that is my old version. I know I'm aware of that, but this is the new version that I want to build and create. So now what you will start to understand and realize is every 2 hours or 3 hours, you're constantly reminding yourself of that. You don't forget that. You're using your conscious mind to become aware of the things that you want to incorporate in your subconscious mind, and you can start changing your subconscious beliefs. So, in the process of manifestation, if there is a block that you feel that you're not able to move through, while there are multiple other things that we will be working on and all the other videos that we're doing, please make sure to just get started with identifying. Number one, now you understand where these beliefs are coming from. And please don't go blame your parents for this. They didn't know any better. They're still stuck. At least you and I have the awareness to get out of it and start working on ourselves. Our parents are still stuck in their old ways of living. Unfortunately, let's just be grateful for them for the life that they've given us, and let's start working on ourselves. You become aware. Next, you identify what your subconscious beliefs are and start working on yourself. Otherwise, this entire thing is going to feel like a battle for you. So I really wish each one of you who's watching this video all the very best. And if possible, tell me in the comments, what is that one belief you're working on rewiring on the inside? I would love to listen to them.